Yo, sports fam, listen up. This is the Coach's Corner Unfiltered podcast, where we bring the heat. We're talking scorchers, game changers, and straight fire analysis. We keeping it 100. Let's go!
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Coach's Corner Unfiltered. I'm Clarence Jones, as we are recording live here on the campus of Voorhees University at the Innovation Lounge right here. And of course, as always, I brought in some coaches here live right here on the Voorhees University campus. First off, over here, right in front of me, as you can see, the men's basketball head coach, I have Coach James Williams. And off to the left of him, I have the assistant coach for baseball, Coach Jamari Cunningham. And over to my right here is the head coach for the baseball team, for the Fighting Tigers, of course, Norman O'Neill. And of course, not new to the broadcast of the podcast no more, but we have a first timer here, Coach Cunningham. So, Coach Cunningham, I'm gonna start with you. Introduce yourself to the crowd and let them know some of your background.
So like you said, my name is Jamari Cunningham. I'm the assistant baseball coach here at Voorhees University. Going into my third year here as assistant baseball coach. I'm also an alumni here from Voorhees University.
And how you like your stay here at Voorhees so far?
I love it, man. Like I said, it's home, so I'm very blessed to be here.
And how it is working for this guy right here?
It's my guy, man. You know, that's my guy. I learn a lot from him, but he holds me accountable, so I'm always appreciative of that. So,
Gotcha. Coach O'Neill, this is, of course, I guess your third appearance here now in the podcast. So, how's everything with you?
So far, so good. Just got out some faculty meetings this morning, so it's kind of good to start talking about some sports instead of, just trying to navigate through the day, thinking about cutting grass and stuff. So, the headaches of being a head coach at a small HBCU. So, having a good day.
Yes, and now I'm going to get over here to Coach Williams. How's everything with you?
Everything's good, man.
Everything?
Just trying to get guys on campus, get them settled in. We got some international guys, so trying to make them feel as, comfortable as they possibly can being so far away from home. And also doing the academic stuff, so trying to get my class situated for my students on Monday. So
now, of course, when we last recorded this podcast, I think we wasn't officially part of the new HBCU athletic conference. So now, as of this recording right now, we are now part of the HBCU athletic conference. So now, officially, how does it feel, and what kind of adjustments that you need to make now, because this is a much bigger conference, and with opponents now several states away from us, how do you make that adjustment to complement this new conference that we're going into?
I want to hear baseball's answer. Go ahead.
Honestly, I want to say it's a larger task, because being in the Continental Athletic Conference, it was independent. So we were able to make our schedule, so it's kind of more budget friendly. But with us being in like a dedicated conference where schools are at least about 8 hours away, I want to say, you definitely have to be more strategic when it comes to budgeting. You can't just really just sit here, blow the budget on this when you got to plan for road trips and actually thinking about travel rosters. I know this year, myself and Coach Cunningham, we have 40 guys on the roster, but we're going to go travel 26. So just being more strategic about who we take on the road and everything, as far as like we was talking about earlier about matchups and what could benefit us. So, I mean, it's going to be kind of fun. So looking forward to it.
Now, that's interesting, because I'm thinking like for basketball, what we did with the old CAC conference with the pods. Do you think that's possible for a baseball season, that they can have a pod?
Not really, because of the amount of games we got to play in the conference. Right now we're playing 33. So with the pod situation, if we try to do a pod, it's going to mess up for our scheduling, because everybody has their schedule. We got to play 50 games. So just trying to get a dedicated area for the pod, it's going to be hard. And then plus just dealing with everybody's schedule. So right now, this year, we're going to just focus on just playing straight up, playing all the teams. Next year, we're going to go to more divisional play, where we'll just focus the guys on the East and the West. But it was a discussion, but I think they were just basically against it. They kind of wanted to go this way. So,
well, let me ask you personally, and I want to get your comments as well, Cunningham. What would you do as, say, if you was the conference commissioner and knowing that we have a little situation as far as baseball season goes. What would you do to try to, I guess, alleviate some of the cost of some of these colleges that may have to make long trips here and there?
It's kind of tough to ask because I mean you never know what the commissioner's thinking about. So I mean, as far as just thinking about it, with the conference we have, you want more teams to help out with that logistics. So coming from the Gulf Coast Athletic Conference, they already had their inaugural teams and institutions where they all were in like a geographic location. But now they're trying to expand to more teams. So it's going to be difficult in the first few years. So what she showed us, Dr. Kiki Barnes, she showed us like the forecasting far as when it comes down to what she wants to branch out, the schools that she wants to add and stuff, and she's targeting. So it's going to help out far as budget-wise. Partnerships is a huge thing too. Travel partners, trying to partner with local hotels. I know me and Coach Williams was talking about it. I was asking him about games and hotels he's going with. One of my players, his mom works for Hilton. So trying to get those discounts to help us out. But on a conference level, doing the same thing as well too.
Gotcha. Coach Cunningham, I'm going to ask this question. Has the recruiting game changed now since we're under a new conference? As in, is there a wider net that we can recruit now, or is still kind of the same regionalized net?
Well, I will say this. We have always recruited from a nationwide standpoint. So to answer your question, I don't really think anything changes. We still try to recruit at a high level. We still try to get high-level baseball players. Our goal is not to recruit for our conference, but for NAIA regional. So, we always try to recruit the best of the best. So I don't think our philosophy changes in the recruiting aspect.
Gotcha. Coach Williams.
Hey, we gotta get the new guy some personality, man. Smile. You gonna smile on the podcast?
You know what?
You look lighthearted around here.
You know why he's not smiling.
There it is, folks. That's the rookie hazing right there. I tell you.
He already got haze.
Line me up, CJ. Come on.
I got you.
Line me up.
All right, I will.
I'm ready for some controversy.
I got you. Now, as far as with basketball, money is the biggest issue that we have, man. Honestly, with the way the schedule is set up for us, and by the way, I'm the chairman for men's basketball, so I've assumed a leadership role within the conference, already. As far as us, so to answer your initial question that you gave to Coach O'Neal, I'm excited, about the opportunity to be in a home, not to throw shade to the CAC, but to be in a place where we're kind of welcome, kind of where we're celebrating and where, we're going to be able to showcase who we are, what I'm saying, to highlight, Elizabeth and what she did as our institution. So from a marketing and branding standpoint, we're going to be in line with other institutions who are very similar to how we got started. They got started as well as an institution of higher learning for African Americans at a time where education was, sought after and not allowing us to have many opportunities. So from that standpoint, the conference does support that, and we're actually going to be part of a new network called not a new network, but the HBCU network. So people out there will be able to get to see our games. Baseball is going to be, I heard earlier you told you they're going to be broadcasting. So we actually have our own dedicated channel. So alumni, our supporters all can go, to that particular channel, and it's specific for, VU, which is an awesome thing. So to also piggyback off the question that you asked them, partnerships are going to be the biggest thing. And I think if we can get to a system to where our small conference of small colleges can get into some revenue sharing, those things are things that can alleviate the financial burden that we all are having to undertake with the expansion and the expansiveness of our conference. So, yeah. And the thing about it is with this new conference, we don't get the big shiny TV contracts like the Big Ten, or I'll even go further with the MEAC and SWAC. We don't get the big TV conference, TV money. So with that being said, do you see, say, a revenue sharing within, say, streaming down the line with several sponsors and whatnot, if once this conference really takes off?
Yeah, I think Dr. Barnes, as Coach O'Neal outlined, she has a great vision for our future. She just won an award for being the top HBCU commissioner. So the innovative and the things that she showed us at our conference retreat were pretty awesome. You know what I'm saying? The eyeballs that were put on the conference with the various championships and things of that nature, the partnership that she has with Hope Credit, credit union to be able to sponsor the championships and things of that nature. It's just growing. Like we're gonna take our lumps and our growing pains early on, this first year. But I think everything balances itself out to where you kind of learn the nuances of travel and things of that nature. And similar to Coach O'Neal, I might have a roster of 22, but I'm only carrying 15. You know what I'm saying? So there's some things that we're doing on our end as coaches to be able to, ease some of that burden on the institution.
I'm about to say, and to talk about the revenue sharing with the HBCU channel that we're going to be on, that's part of the revenue sharing. So basically having the information for our website, our streams, the YouTube channel and stuff. So it's going to be the possibility of having that. So just having the subscribers, people tuning in, we'll be able to get no money. I'm not sure if it's going to be millions of dollars or $1,000, but at least it's more than $1 or $0. Right. So that's definitely an opportunity for us to capitalize on. So hopefully as a conference grows, we'll start seeing even more partners and stuff people want to be a part of it and stuff. So
and our athletes, NIL.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Our athletes
individually,
NIL,
yes.
Individually.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Dr. Amos.
I was about to say that.
Yeah. He introduced the NIL situation to us, and I hear it's in the works. So our student athletes are going to be able to generate. Use their, image and likeness to be able to generate funds for themselves, which also brings eyeballs to the university. So if everybody's doing their job and if we're winning and we're competing at a very high level, then I think that money situation will reverse itself from an athletic standpoint of how we can generate just by us being productive in our individual sport.
Now, with the NIL coming down the pipeline, thanks to Dr. Amos, how does that change the landscape as far as getting athletes to come to your program now? Because now, soon you can say NIL, because it seems like that's the most famous words right now in college sports is NIL.
Go ahead, baseball.
I was about to say, the NIL that we see like on the D1 P5 level is somewhere that we strive to be, and that's where we're going. So far as getting kids here for our NIL, like I don't think we're at that place, but that's the progress. That's the where we're going. But having our kids to have the opportunity to make money off of the name, image, and likeness is key. And that is a good recruiting tool. Whereas like, yes, you might not get the $1 million or $350,000. I forgot what the name of the school gave a pitcher just to come pitch next year. We're not going to be able to do that, but we can say, hey, we have this opportunity for you if you come play at Voorhees. Whereas some NAIA, some HBCU, let alone some D1s don't even have that opportunity. So us being able in the forefront, like Dr. Ames is helping us out with that, it's going to help us with recruiting. We just have to, tell them like, hey, this is a start. And like once brands start seeing you associated with a brand, they want to be a part of it because they like, you must be important enough for somebody else to invest in you. So it's just a starting point, a catalyst basically.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but does the NIL deal also have like, say, just for example, Nike could come sponsor that particular athlete, or is it?
Yeah, there's opportunities. I think for the biggest thing is the licensing of the Voorhees image, which brings in revenue to the university. Is a big deal. But I think for us recruiting, man, I don't necessarily want to use that. But what I do want to say to my athletes that have enrolled and are active, engaged students, this is an opportunity to leverage their uniqueness and from the standpoint of showing their work ethic, because this is something that they'll have to do and push and move and brand and market all on their own. So it's gonna, especially if you're in the business school of business, like this is another opportunity of what we call experiential learning here. You know what I'm saying? Where you're learning the business aspect of life. Because I think that's also an important thing, the financial aspect of being an athlete. Some our seniors, especially our seniors, they getting ready to graduate, they getting ready to go out in the workworkforce. These are opportunities that they can use to be able to start, their second half of their next chapter of their life.
Gotcha.
It's basically kind of like piggybacking off what they say. It just simply gives our athletes marketability. I think we have a lot of underrated student athletes here on campus who just needs an opportunity to promote themselves. So it definitely just puts more spotlight on us, not only from an HBCU standpoint, but just from a university standpoint in general.
And we got personalities here, man.
Right.
We got some crazy people on this campus that, what I'm saying? That's
not talking about me, are you?
Some companies, can get behind. But from a recruiting standpoint, from my end, man, I'm worldwide, baby. You know what I'm saying? So
I know. I'm gonna get into that.
I'm international, baby.
Right.
So for me, that ain't a pitch that I have currently. That's just another tool in my tool belt. You know what I'm saying, for my people.
You.
So
I got you. Now, as with the HBCU Athletic Conference, now,
wait, say that.
HBCU.
That's a lot, man. We just say HBCUAC. That might be because it sounds like you.
HBCU Athletic Conference. It's not. That's not a lot.
It is, but it just sounds like a lot when you say, "Okay, I'm gonna leave it alone."
Jay will just give you a hard time.
Keep going.
I'll say it 3 times fast. Okay. Not right now. I'll be off the air. But I'll just say the HBCU, right?
AC.
AC.
Yeah.
Okay. HBCU AC.
There you go.
Fine. Okay. With the HBCU AC, my fear is this. Like with the MEAC conference and the SWAC conference, respectability amongst, the athletic level of play. Because I've seen time and time again, especially in basketball, when it comes to the basketball brackets, the MEAC and the SWAC always play in the play-in, seem like they're always playing in the play-in tournament and whatnot. Will that be a case down here? Because we have some strong programs as far as HBCUs go. But do you see that we might have a lack of respect? And if we do we change that by playing tougher competition or, top 10 competition in order to prove our worth or something? Well,
so this is unfiltered, right?
Of course.
Because that's a very dicey question that you're asking. From a political standpoint.
Well, I'm chopping it up.
I see, you really are. I would say, yeah, because we could be extremely honest. A part of the reason why we are moving to this conference is what I said earlier about feeling like you're at home. No offense to the CAC, but I can remember a time where we went to the conference and they left us off. You know how they put the names of the teams on the shirts? They left us off the shirt. And so a lot of times, and I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna do the black or white thing. I'm just gonna say there's a disparity in resources at certain institutions that don't get the same eyeballs that some other institutions in our organization, NEIA, get. So there is that. But now you're talking about HBCUs coming together collectively. We are, we're 13 teams, and Dr. Kiki Barnes is talking about expansion. The power is in our voice. The power is in our voice and how we come together collectively to say, hey, we have these teams where HBCUs recognize us, acknowledge us in that situation. And so, but we have to be collectively together to be able to have our voice as strong as we're saying. And then on the other end, when it comes to, there's I would say colorism even in our ranks, because a certain school that's an HBCU may think that they're better than us. My response to that would be play me. Yeah. Put me on your schedule.
Yeah.
That's just an attitude that I particularly have, saying as a competitor. Put me on your schedule and we'll see if it comes to that. But as far as the political aspect of it, the more we come together, I think the better chances we'll have at getting our voice heard. And a lot of that is in our, I don't know if baseball, y'all got Raiders?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. So in those meetings, so we have a voice because we are a conference that has a certain number. So when it comes to having national meetings, being at the national meetings, representation is extremely important, and the right representation is extremely important for us to balance out that scale of the proposed inequalities, if have you.
I was about to say, just to talk about that, being at Dallas at our coaches convention, they mentioned far as 2-bid conferences might not have the 2 bids. And the first thing that came to my mind was with us going to the Gulf Coast now in the HBCUAC, it's like, okay, so now you're saying that we don't have 2 bids because of what? And like you were saying about the play-in, like the one thing I can say that was beneficial for us as a sport, baseball, playing in the CAC, I was able to schedule those high-ranking opponents that helped us out for our strength of schedule. It was a point where we was going to the tournament last year at the pod. If we would have beat Florida National, we would have made postseason. Even though they beat us twice, we'd have beat them once. We would have made it to the postseason tournament because of our strength of schedule. Now being in a dominant HBCU athletic conference in baseball, it's kind of hard because you look at it now, the sport is basically dealing with white, Puerto Rican, Dominican, and so you don't see many of us. We have a small percentage. So it's a lot of them that don't give us the respect. So that's why I like playing teams that don't look like us, because when we beat them, then I get texts, oh, coach, we can't play y'all next year because of the umpires. I know the reason why. But being in a conference like this, it does make us feel good because, like I tell people all the time, when I first watched sports, I remember the Jermaine Dyers, Frank Thomases and stuff in baseball. So seeing a team right across, seeing kids across the field, and I'm seeing like teams that look like us. There's some HBCUs that got more, you know what I'm saying, non-African-American players, but just having that whole HBCU feel in baseball, making a representation for us. I feel like if we get to the level, like the whole conferences and all coaches and institutions, I feel like we're going to be that team that people going to start, that conference people going to start revering. Right. So it just takes time, but I mean, I think we have all the right minds at the table. So
now you mentioned as far as scheduling, and I'm going to get into this. It's a question for both of you. Okay.
Not the rookie. He's done.
He can chime in. You know, he's chilling. He's chilling right now. But you mentioned scheduling, and you mentioned that in the old conference you faced more national top teams.
Right.
Can you not, as far as non-conference try to schedule them, or now since you're not a part of the conference, they just don't want to play you?
No, it's not that. It's just tough because playing 33 games in a conference already, that's all my weekends gone. Where before I was able to schedule D2 teams, some high-ranking NAIA teams, but now being a dedicated conference, instead of being an independent, we have to play the conference games in order to play the postseason in the conference. So those midweek games are kind of taken up. So it's kind of hard to schedule those teams because they already have their schedule. They set people that they're playing during their midweeks. So when you try to get those strength of schedules, like the opponents, it's kind of hard, but it's imperative for all the coaches within the room, as far as in the HBCUAC, for us to recruit the better athletes, to build our programs up to the point where now we're getting ranked. You know what I'm saying? We're getting the receiving votes instead of us just being like the bottom of the barrel like most people see. But we have a lot of teams, a lot of players that goes to HBCUs that actually can dominate some of these powerhouses. I mean, last year, Southern and Alabama State beat Auburn and LSU. LSU won a national championship and Southern won. So it's like, it's a possibility that we can compete at that level. A lot of people don't just give it that respect. So it's going to be in due time, though.
Respect. Coach, you want to time in as far as basketball?
Yeah, I messed up this year on the schedule.
Let's get into it. What you messed up on, man?
I had some opportunities to play some bigger Division I's, and because I felt rushed to do a schedule, I kind of didn't maximize as far as the strength of schedule that I probably could have. So similar to him, we got to play the conference games. So it's 18 conference games. I get a total of 30 with 2 exhibitions. So 18 conference games, and then I did 10, non-conference, and then you get 2 exhibitions. Well, for me, getting paid games, going to play some of these, some of these teams to take the guys. For me, it's about the experience. You know what I'm saying? For some of my guys to be able to go and play in some of these big arenas, you know what I'm saying, are opportunities that they had dreamed about. We don't necessarily get here, here at Voorhees. So I didn't schedule as many as we did last year. Like last year's schedule was pretty tough, and we was on the road a lot. So I think for us, man, my guys essentially become road warriors.
Yeah.
We spent a lot of time on the road. We spent a lot of time together, and I think that breeds from that for us. That helps postseason, but during the regular season, it's a bit iffy just because the competition level in our conference is crazy. So you know what I'm saying, like. I don't know how it is for baseball, but I just know for men's basketball, it's one of the more competitive, like night in, night out. You can't take a night off in conference at all.
Now, I do recall during the coverage, the basketball season, I think I mentioned to you in the post game that last year's schedule was like an NBA type schedule when you had back-to-back games and 3 games in 4 days and stuff like that. So
we'll have some of that this year, just because we play in the pods. With the pods, you might play back-to-back with a day off and then play again. So I try to simulate tournament style. Everything that I do from a mentality is always for February. The regular season does matter. You know what I'm saying? It's important. But for me, I focus on February more than anything because you want to build. If you can go on a run on a Monday night Play on Monday, play Tuesday. If you can go on a 4-game run in like 5 or 6 days, those are special moments, right? And you try to build your team for that. So during the season, you got to schedule some back-to-backs, which from a tactician standpoint, your rosters may differ. You may give some more guys some opportunities. So there's so many things that factor into that when you're making your schedule. But the biggest thing for me is my guys' experience. I want them to have the experience of college basketball. You know, same way they would get it at D1. I try to mimic that. You know, I tell people all the time, I try not to think of myself as NAIA. I try to think of myself as Division I. And I try to treat my guys that way. I treat the scheduling that way. I treat how we travel that way because I want them to understand that they are college. I want them to get the college athletic experience to the fullest, you know?
Gotcha. This last question for everybody. The pressures of winning in a new conference now. How is that, you know?
I don't really think there's any pressure on us. I think we put more pressure on ourselves than anybody can put on us. Just, you know, playing to our standard. I think our most important thing is to play to our standard, not the scoreboard or who we're playing. It's just playing our game, understanding our level that we need to play on. So I don't think it's any more pressure that anybody's putting on us that we put on ourselves every day. So, yeah.
Mission first.
Absolutely. There you go. There you go.
But would you want to be the team or the program that gets out of the box and become the first dynasty of the HBCUAC?
Absolutely.
I'm not gonna say a lie. Like with the name change, like I want to win the first ever like HBCUAC like baseball trophy. Like this year, like I tell people all the time, like when I took over the job when his senior year to now, like I always saw like the third full season I had, which is this year, was gonna be my best year. Because I was able to get all the kinks out as a head coach, learning all the growing pains and stuff, all the rules and regulations and stuff, learning everything. So I honestly feel like this is our year. And like the guys we got coming in, like I'm going to hold them to that level. Like we're going to win. Like I don't want anything less. Like I'm tired of the narrative of this is Voorhees or they'll walk over. Like, nah, those days are over. So yeah.
I'm hunting, man. I felt like last year, I feel like I let myself down. Like I felt like the team that we had was a team that can win the conference last year, and we didn't, right? So, yeah, I'm hungry. I'm salivating. What Jerry West say? If they're dogs, like I'm a wolf, I eat the dog. Didn't he say something like that? Something like that? Like I'm ready to eat dogs, right?
That cannibal.
Yeah, that's me. I'm just ready, man. I'm ready to get started. I like the group that we got coming. I know that's not the topic that you asked me, but yeah, I'm just ready to get started. I'm ready to see what we can do. Just because our conference is tough.
All right, stay with us. When we get back, we are going to talk about the Paris Olympics and why my milk of magnesia, Caitlin Clark.
This man. Milk of magnesia.
Yes.
Your stomach hurting?
Nah, she hurts them.
Dr. Umar.
That's why.
Dr. Umar, get this
Right.
man.
Yeah. We'll be right back, okay? Right here on the Coaches Podcast Unfiltered. We'll be back. This is the Coach's Corner Unfiltered. I'm Clarence Jones, and right now I have, of course, the whole table of head coaches. And right in front of me, I have the men's basketball head coach, James Williams. Over to the right of me, I have the head baseball coach, Coach Norman O'Neill. And joining us as well, fan favorite, the women's head
OG.
coach, Edward Glover.
I don't know about that fan favorite part.
You'll see.
Well, as we last left off, and by the way, this segment is being sponsored by Milk of Magnesia. Caitlin Clark. Okay. The Paris Olympics, if you are watching it, just really wrapped up, but we have a lot to talk about here. And first off, and I'm going to say this, gentlemen, I still say that Caitlin Clark was needed for the USA basketball, and I'm going to tell you why.
Women's basketball, right?
Yes. For women's basketball. What
3-on-3?
No.
The way you said that is like she.
Well, yeah, it is 3-on-3 competition.
Yeah, I'm saying, you talking about for the 3-on-3
No,
team?
I'm not. I'm
She
talking about
could've been
5-on-5.
No.
I'm talking about 5-on-5. I'm telling you why, because we missed the opportunity for the marketing and to generate more money as far as women's basketball is concerned.
How
I
much
think
more
we
money
missed
you
that
want them to
opportunity.
have?
Okay, stop being piano
I'm
man.
sorry.
I was
I'm sorry.
doing
Yeah,
that.
Mr.
Piano
Piano
man.
Man.
I was just being demonstrative.
But
But I'm serious. I think we lost an opportunity, a real advertising and marketing opportunity for
Now
leaving Clayton
we
Clark.
need the marketing opportunities. Team USA, it's gonna market itself.
Yeah. Team USA, you
I
put
mean, the
US,
dream team is still. You
Did
put
you
out
see
something.
Asia
The national
Wilson
dream
dominate
team is gonna
Japan?
sell.
the redeem team. Like people
Did you see her dominate? Did you the women's basketball was going to dominate regardless
Now,
without
Did you
her?
see
think
the WNBA averaging over 1 million?
Yes,
yeah, but
her.
it helped the WNBA All Star game by her being on the NBA All Star team versus Team USA and getting the upset. That was huge.
But you know why she's not on Team USA? She didn't play well at the beginning of the season. It was just timing.
and
She'll
she
be
got-
on the next 8 Olympic teams.
Yeah,
if
she
wants
got to
to.
earn her. She got to earn her due. I still feels that like
She didn't. She was struggling at the beginning of the season.
Well, she
Look,
was
right
gonna
now,
replace.
she's is either her or Angel Reese as Rookie of the Year in the
Yeah, but
WNBA.
both of
They
them
gonna
be
be
on
co-rookie
the. They'll
of the
be
year,
on
like,
what's the next year?
like
2026.
Hill did.
They'll be
Huh?
on that team.
yeah 2028.
No,
yeah.
28.
Yeah.
So she'll be on that team. Okay,
Yeah,
I
LA.
can see
LA.
that because LA, yes, but I still think a marketing opportunity
Was missed?
Yes, it was. It very much was. Now, as far as with Team USA, on the men's side, no, they don't really need no marketing because you got LeBron, aka the GOAT, in some people's
Captain
eye.
America.
Captain America.
Yes.
Yes, now they call it the US Avengers now. USA
Yeah.
Avengers.
Yeah, he doing this, the little shoulder shrug.
The shoulder shrug. and
Everybody
stuff.
had something, you know what I'm saying? Jordan had a tongue, Kobe had a little snarl, so I guess
Yeah.
his is.
Kobe used to hiss.
He was the
They
Black
said
Mamba.
he used to hiss in games.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt
That's
it.
why they call him the Black Mamba.
I wouldn't
So,
doubt it.
but let me get your reaction about Team USA basketball, the men's. How do you think they played this year, and how do you think things will shape up in the next 4 years going into LA? Will we see some of these same basketball players? Because I think LeBron will be out of it.
I think he's done.
Yeah, he's done.
by the time.
he's done.
Steph done.
Yeah.
KD done. I think this is their last Olympics.
This is their last Olympics.
I
year?
think so. But you got the young guns. Tatum might be back.
Anthony Edwards definitely.
Anthony Edwards,
Mhm.
yeah, be there. You still got some young stars. You got Ja Morant.
They have Jalen Brown.
You got Jalen Brown who
Mhm.
could, get an opportunity to play. He'll be in his prime still
Mhm.
in 2028.
Steph might be
Um,
there. He might be the LeBron. He might be the old guy.
If
Oh,
he's
yeah.
still
Yeah.
playing.
The 40
Yeah.
the 40-year-old
Yeah,
head.
the 40-year-old. He might be around, but I'm not sure.
So I think the teams,
Barring injuries and everything else.
the
Yeah.
NBA's in good hands. And then, like I said, the international world, from a men's basketball standpoint, is leaps and bounds a
Mhm.
lot different than what it was when we first
Well,
introduced
the
the
92
players.
Dream Team changed all that.
Change on yet. Look,
Mhm.
I was impressed with South Sudan.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, wow, I mean, it came out of nowhere. And it looks like they have a couple of players. First off, shout out to Luol Deng.
I was about to say you got to
Well,
talk
oh,
What he
about
did with that program?
Yeah.
no, that and plus how
Out
much
of-
money he been paying.
Putting in it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's because of his dime. Yeah,
Yeah, so I'm
Because of that
I'm
big contract he signed.
right. And I'm impressed with what he's done. And it seemed like there's a couple of players that might see an NBA court pretty soon that I didn't even know of that actually played college ball.
Oh, yeah.
Well, William Gabriel,
Uh-huh.
he's already in the league. Jerry Dang plays. I remember him was at Norcross,
Mhm.
so I got a chance to see him in high school. They got some guys that are talented on that team.
What did you think about the Gilbert Arenas comment about when South Sudan almost pulled off the big upset during the
You hear what he
prelims?
said?
You did hear what he said?
That was the most insensitive, idiotic thing I could have heard any person with a platform say.
Yeah.
That was stupid.
Mhm.
Wait, what was the comments? 'Cause-
He said they were cousins of Joel Embiid it was very insensitive what he said about them in particular, because
It was borderline racist.
yeah, it was borderline.
It was-
Like it was definitely colorism from the standpoint of
Right.
It was an American saying stuff about a continent and a country that he know nothing about.
Yes.
Right.
Saying that they almost lost to a quote unquote tribe.
Yeah.
Oh, nah. Yeah.
He's an idiot to me sometimes with some of the stuff they say. And I know they do it for clicks, but like
That can hurt you, too.
what the people of Sudan have went through throughout which is the continent of Africa, what they have went through with the village, the plumaging and plunging of their resources, their people, things of that nature, and for those countries to gain their independence and to realize that the resources that they have are precious and that they don't need to be tricked from colonialism is amazing. You know what I'm saying? And for Luol to do what he's done with that country and for them to have such pride and to play well.
Right.
And they beat Puerto Rico in their first game, right? And they got Serbia. So,
right.
you know, they're going to have opportunity to play for a medal. And for them to win their first game after their country being so young,
It's amazing.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Coach.
Yeah, I'm rooting for him.
You rooting for him?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no doubt about that.
As far as with the rest of the Olympics, outside of course basketball, the main sports, what are some of the sports that you always look forward to when you're watching the Olympics? For myself, I like track and field.
Oh yeah, that's really
Track and field is the main one for
Yeah.
the Olympics, really.
Yeah.
I was about to say, that's like Friday Night Lights. Like,
Yeah.
everybody wait for
Yeah.
track and field. like seriously.
And they always be like the last day, like they start
Yeah.
today.
But that's the
events.
marketing behind the Olympics. They want you to watch throughout the whole time for that. And they always give you little teasers like when Usain Bolt was running,
Yeah.
it was always something about Bolt
A promo.
chasing this. Now you got Sha'Carri Richardson. Everybody bringing up you got CoverGirl, Vogue. You always see on the commercial, they doing no teasers. So we can stay tuned because you don't want to miss a moment. You know what I'm saying? For those times. So yeah, track and field, honestly, gymnastics. I'm not gonna say a lot of what Simone Biles is doing.
I think
and-
she.
Utterly amazing.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
back in my day with
Utterly
Dominique Dawes, people don't
Yeah.
remember her.
Yeah, Dominique
You know what I'm saying? You got
Dawes
that.
was the truth,
Yeah,
bro.
Dominique the
Yeah.
truth.
And then back in
Yes.
the day, it would be just dolls.
Yeah,
From a standpoint of
Individual
makeup
champ.
of the team.
right. Yeah.
Now, out of those 5, it was 5 women of color.
Mm-hmm.
Versus back in those days, maybe 4, sometimes none.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I love that Simone mentored and how she cheers on those young ladies.
Mhm.
I
I like to come on.
one of the greatest Olympians. I ain't gonna lie, I like badminton.
Yeah. Okay.
Badminton.
the
Yeah,
the
badminton
twirly
is cool.
twirl.
It's exciting.
You know
what
they
I'm
got.
saying?
You
ever
know
seen?
they got breakdancing now. This.
Yeah,
Yeah,
break
that's the
But
first time.
it's only gonna be in this one. I think they're pulling it out. by the
Yeah.
next one.
I was wondering. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Bringing flag
I
football
think
in for
Japan
LA.
might win that one.
Okay.
Japan might win the breakdancing. They be getting it. They
Hey.
love hip hop over there in
Nah,
Japan.
yeah,
Honestly,
yeah,
they do.
yeah, they do. Yeah, they huge Asian culture. Yeah,
Yeah,
they
they-
definitely dance. That's huge over there.
Wakashi washa.
No, don't do
There you
that.
go.
I think
Oh,
that-
see,
you
look
about
at
to
it,
get us in
see,
trouble.
look at it,
We about to
see.
get canceled.
No, see.
We about
He
to
the first
get
that
canceled.
said so cuss
You
words.
know
We don't get
Chinese? You know what the fuck's that?
Huh?
Was that Mandarin? What is
No,
that?
No, that's the Megan Thee Stallion.
See,
That's
yeah.
a big hit
see,
right
come
now.
on, man. Come on,
No,
man.
because
Nah,
she,
but speaking
she
of
teamed
Megan-
up with a
TikTok
Japan.
dance, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but she
yeah.
teamed up with a Japan rapper.
Wow.
But speaking of
Yes.
Megan Thee Stallion,
Clarence, what are you
did y'all
doing?
see the French entertainers at opening ceremony?
Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah.
Where they had some people call it, I don't know the young lady's name, but she's like a French Megan Thee Stallion.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's a lot of controversy with that. A lot of people have a lot of Christians have were outraged at that opening ceremony.
Now I want I
production.
want to get into this. Now this is going to be a little bit controversial, but I want to get
Unfiltered.
into this. Yes,
Yeah,
it is
unfiltered.
unfiltered. Okay, religion wise, honestly, the Olympics is supposed to be for all religions. Okay,
Mhm.
so when you have a handful of Christians who do not like it or whatever, a certain segment or whatever, I'm gonna tell them, please be open-minded. And at the same time, y'all are ignorant to the fact. You're ignorant because you want to have it your way. And not everybody can have, we can have it our way all the time, okay? Just as let's put it like this. If something happened and let's say some of the Jews got offended, Oh, somebody, they had to rush and say apologize and all that. But you have, first off, when you do an Olympic show, an opening ceremony, it is supposed to be for everyone. Now, whatever they got offended by, I think that was really minute stuff. I'm going to be honest with you.
For real?
Yes. I think that was really minute.
Minute in the sense of
Why bring it up?
because they were making fun of what is considered to be the Last Supper, which if I, as a believer, right, like you're making fun of what I believe in. That's not right.
Okay, so then you turn around and you hear a Christian comedian make fun of the Jews. Then what?
Well, that's not in my algorithm. That was for the world, though. That was for the world to see, that was put on display for the world.
Okay,
Was that the best representation of all nations? Was that the best representation? So we think about what was the last Olympics? Was it Beijing? Right?
Rio.
Hold on, that Rio was 16.
It was Tokyo, right?
Tokyo,
Did you see that
Tokyo.
opening ceremony? That was it was a great show of the Japanese culture.
Okay.
I felt like the French could have put on a show from their culture. They have an expansive library of books, plays. Their arts and culture is amazing. Was that the best
And it
representation?
can be controversial at times.
But see,
French.
I think from that point, from what you just said, from that perspective, if I am doing something in French and as an American, I don't understand it, and I can understand that. But they were making fun of the Last Supper, which as a Christian who believes in the Bible, who also believes in the stories in the Bible, the Last Supper is something that is extremely sacred as a believer.
Okay.
So I can understand why people who share my same view and faith of the Last Supper would be offended by that particular performance.
Yeah, I was about to say, because like most of the Olympics opening ceremonies are like that cultural kind of ceremony. Like think about Rio, they had like a carnival kind of theme.
Mhm.
So I mean, yeah, like just going off what Coach Jay said, like it was kind of like a smack in the face, and you almost wanted to know what was the reasoning behind it. You don't know if it was malicious or if they thought it was a great idea, but then they went the wrong way. But at the end of the day, you're still playing with, like he said, a sacred moment and a whole faith that people believe in, and you know what I'm saying, take to heart. So it's just like you think about it, if they would have said something about the French Revolution or something else like that in another place, how would they felt and stuff, or who would it offended? So
And if if they would have made fun of the Jews, the whole thing would have been shut down. They don't play about about anything concerning their faith. They don't play.
Yeah, I understand. I understand. they don't play, them and the Muslims. They don't play neither.
It seems to be
How much of the
Christianity
Olympic
is the
committee
only.
has to do with this?
Right.
Did they approve this? I mean, just wait and see.
they had to see something before. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
first off, the Olympic Committee looks nothing like us. That's number one. So when they went and say, okay, this is what we're going to do, and they know that scene was there, they could have, they could have edited it.
Mhm.
They could, but again, they left it in there because I think the French culture is controversial at times.
I agree,
It's
but don't play in
controversial.
Jesus' face. That's my thing. Don't play in Jesus. That was how I felt. Like don't
Mhm.
play in
Mhm.
Jesus Christ's face, which is what I think that happens a lot of times. A lot of people play in Christianity.
Now, I haven't, well, since you are passionate about it, have you heard an apology from the Olympic Committee?
I
ain't see anything. So I mean, like
I
I said,
don't know the
the-
French to apologize about much. We can go into Sudan. I'm sorry, there's a whole lot of issues. You talking about controversy. We can talk about the French and their colonialism. We can talk about the French and their imperialistic views, just like England. And like it's a lot. It's a lot too. French. It's a lot. I'm a historian, by the way, so you know.
But it's going to be some controversy when it comes to LA in
Yeah.
2028. So
What we gonna do is open the ceremony.
Bloods and Crips. No,
I'm about to say, don't be surprised. I'm about to say, don't be surprised. You see some red and you see some blue, and then
Right.
they unite with the Olympic torch. And then I mean,
It's gonna be interesting
That'd be
what they do in the city with what's happening in LA.
yeah,
Like,
and you know Snoop Dogg's gonna be
you
there.
don't play out
of
there.
course.
LA.
Once again, he might be. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of Snoop Dogg, what are your thoughts about Snoop Dogg at the Olympics and carrying the torch and doing everything else and commentary and enjoying life? As I'm gonna say,
I was wondering if he used that torch to light a blunt. I'm not gonna say a lie. I mean, I know that went through his head, just knowing Snoop, not knowing him personally, but just knowing his character and his persona and stuff. Like he's cool and laid back, but him being like the mascot for the USA team, I thought it was pretty cool.
Man, he got the best brand manager in the world.
Man.
How he gotten from where he's been to where he's now.
Right.
But I love what him and Kevin Hart do with the commentating. That's funny.
Yeah.
He's great for brands.
He's an icon.
Well,
He
the
is
torch
great
actually
for
looks
brands.
like
online.
That's what they said. Yeah.
Hold up, online they had the torch, and the torch looked very similar to a big joint.
That's why they got him.
That's why they got him. See, the French, they got their little kinks and everything.
I
in
thought
it.
Kevin Hart was doing the commentary with somebody else.
I mean, the previous Olympics, him and
The previous,
yeah.
but this Olympic is
Is it some? Yeah, it's
Yeah. Another
the
comedian.
name. Yeah,
about to
name
say,
escaped my mind now.
If you want to have a good laugh, listen to Snoop Dogg do National Geographic. Like that's by far the funniest thing you could ever watch on YouTube. Like his narrative skills.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yes, especially the little baby who was running away from all the. You got to see it, folks. I'm telling you, it was funny. Just go online and say Snoop Dogg narrate National Geographic. You are going to have a wonderful time. Now, one thing that's we haven't talked about in the Olympics, and I don't know, swimming. When Michael Phelps
last night was Katie Ledecky.
Yeah.
Oh wow! I mean, y'all saw how
much
she took the lead,
Yeah.
and nobody was close to it.
Mhm.
She has the first 19 times, and the person who has the next best is number 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, if she has all, I mean, she has everything.
Yeah.
I look, ever since Michael Phelps stopped, I kind of, but I didn't.
Tailed off from swimming.
Yeah, but because Michael Phelps was just that dominated, he was the Simone Biles
of swimming.
of swimming.
He's the most decorated athlete in Olympic series history, ain't it? Like
Up there.
he has like 20.
Simone's is now.
Simone is now.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Simone is.
She passed him.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
But
Well-
yeah, he was fine. Ledecky's is good.
Yeah, and I think she
Yeah.
was overshadowed by Michael Phelps.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's kind of
Yeah.
hard.
She's been solid for a couple
Oh, yeah,
Olympics
yeah,
now.
yeah.
I was about to say, there was a lot of guys on that Michael Phelps team that was good, like Ryan Lochte.
Yeah.
But, you know what I'm saying? He was pretty good, but it was like Michael Phelps was that guy. Like, you think about Usain Bolt. Like, Blake was a fast runner too, but everybody talk about Bolt all the time. So,
I forgot about Blake.
yeah, exactly. See what I'm saying?
No, because Hussein was.
Yeah. Johan Blake or something like that. But like
Yeah,
the
Johan
men's
Blake.
track and field, like now, like who's gonna be
Noah
like,
Lyles.
Noah Lyles.
I'm
You know what I'm
cheering
saying?
for Noah.
But see, Noah Lyles, like he made a comment about basketball.
Trying
like,
to do, I don't care about
Yeah,
that.
you know what I'm saying?
The 100, 200 double is an amazing thing. If he could do it, if he could pull it off, that's dope.
I mean, his comment he made about basketball, like how y'all the world champs. You know what I'm saying? If y'all ain't play against the world, but I think that was just him being ignorant because you playing against people across the world.
Well, in the NBA.
Yeah, in the NBA.
Yeah.
So you got different nationalities playing in that, but still, like,
Because I think they stopped calling the Super Bowl. One time the Super Bowl was the World Championship.
yeah,
I think
But-
they stopped calling.
But those who win the Super Bowl, they still call them world
World
champions.
yeah.
So they'll consider them world
Well,
champions.
there is no other football in the world. There is no other.
I mean,
There's
there-
no equivalent to the NFL.
to the
there's
NFL.
no equivalent to the NBA. Not even EuroLeague. EuroLeague is like a little bit lower
Yeah,
level.
but we
than-
have foreign players playing in the
Yeah.
NBA.
Right, yeah.
yeah,
There's a lot of
A
them
lot
in the
more.
Olympics. So,
Mhm.
right.
yeah, I mean, the NBA can really say the world. I think baseball can say the world champions.
Yeah.
Well, right now, no baseball in the
Yeah.
Olympics.
Yeah,
No.
they're talking about LA.
Bringing it back.
Yeah, LA, but World Baseball Classic, that's almost like the Olympics for
Yeah.
baseball. Like, shoot, everybody don't care what you're doing. Baseball fan, you're going to watch World Baseball Classic.
Yeah,
You're going to cheer
bring
for
the
your
softball
team.
too.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's funny, in the last segment, Coach Cunningham was talking about how USA was the 5th best country in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Behind, I think he's mentioned Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic,
Japan.
Japan, it was his top
Yep.
choice.
Yep.
But we're like 5th in place. But that's amazing because we're the ones that made up baseball.
I about to say, so like I tell people, like if like a history buff, like the reason why the Japanese are good in baseball is because of the concentration camps.
So
Like the American soldiers taught them how to play baseball, like for them to relax and stuff. Like some of the concentration camps were good, some of them bad, but the ones they taught how to play baseball, they carried it on. They passed it on generation to generation and stuff.
Mhm.
So I mean, that's why you see so many sports that's like we started, but then they are getting better at it because honestly, sometimes they're more disciplined than our guys.
Yeah.
And our females, like you guys sit here and think about it. Like I can show you videos of kids in the DR hitting black eyed peas, but then you have a kid up here that has a batting cage in the back in their backyard, but they playing the video game in the house. You know what I'm saying? So y'all probably can say the same thing about your guys. I mean, sport, basketball wise, I'm not sure. You know what I'm saying? Working in the G League, NBA, I've seen international players and there's the work ethic. You know what I'm saying? But it all depends. Though.
You know, I want to get into this because we only have a few minutes left, but I want to get into this. I see that those who win gold medals gets paid a certain amount of money.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I seen this article to where the USA, if you win a gold medal, you win $37,000, but compared to China, they getting almost $100,000. So should the US up in their price for gold medals cost?
OG, we ain't
For
heard
the
from you in a while.
cost,
I mean, it's to get paid to winning a gold medal. Instead of $37,000, should it go up to where China levels $100,000? Because they're considered amateur athletes.
Is that 100,000 in American dollars?
I think that's what that article was. They didn't specify if it was like the yen or I forget what the currency is over there.
I believe that is.
I have to see that because I just can't see the disparity like that.
No, it's when you see the article, it shows like it had bows in one of them, but it said 37.5 and it was like 106. But I didn't know as far as if it was their currency.
No, but they didn't say yen.
Yeah.
They said 100. That's so I took it as
They
US
put it in
dollars.
Yeah.
It might have been US dollars.
Yeah, I
We
took it
looked
as
this up.
US dollars. So if even if it's not US, it's still a nice little gap between say Simone Biles winning that type of money and then an archer from Japan winning that type of
Japan or China?
China, excuse me. Yeah.
I got a reason why.
Because of the Chinese government.
No, I mean that too. I mean, plus, I just thinking about like far as like think about Simone. Imagine if you paid Simone $100,000 for every gold medal she won. You know how much money she will make every Olympics?
Mhm.
Like that's like, you know what I'm saying? She'll make a good bit of money. I feel like that was more of that play on it too, because I don't feel like athletes go to the Olympics to try to make money. They try to win that gold. And that golden medallion is way more than $100,000. I mean, so you think about the 4 years you put in the work and all that. Like, I don't even think they're chasing the money. I think they were just more of just USA, just.
But I think Simone Biles, she'll be all right because
Yeah,
she
she's
can
good.
offset that because she has a lot of
Endorsement.
sponsorship.
And that's another thing
Or
our athletes
maybe-
have.
With China, and one of the other bigger players not in the Olympics because of the war,
Mm-hmm.
Russia.
Yep.
Right.
They push those athletes to try to dominate the Olympics and to beat Americans.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's
That could be the
bigger incentive.
The investment, like
yeah.
other countries, very similar to what we talked about earlier about the USA, basketball. The Olympics for some countries is their world champion. It is essentially their world championship. And so those countries have so much pride in their country. Those athletes have so much pride in their country that is the reason why, that's what they work so hard for. And I think those other countries invest in the Olympics because it is their world championship. They invest more.
And the Olympics was viewed as amateur to us at some point, especially when we were still using college athletes in the sport of basketball. When we were using teenagers and young adults to go out and beat grown, on the side of men's and women's basketball, grown adults
Right.
who've been playing it professionally for a while. So that was, the big deal with the Dream Team.
Mhm.
We had to make that move to bring it up. And now we haven't even looked back to our college players.
Right.
I'm about to say, speaking of kids, that 16-year-old that's running track for the men's team for USA.
Yeah.
I think that's
Quincy.
I think that's pretty cool and stuff. And then the young lady from the Philippines, she won the first ever, I think, medal or gold medal for Philippines. Yeah. I was like,
It was a couple Olympics. It was a couple events.
First time.
where
Yeah,
the
first time. And
countries
I-
had first time.
And I have to give a shout out to the women's rugby team.
Rugby,
For
yeah.
US
Yeah.
sevens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
they got bronze, wouldn't they?
Yes.
Hey,
So,
but
but
still,
it's the
that's
first time they have a
Solid
medal.
Yeah.
And I think they said
Oh, don't
in
let
their
us
history.
get good in rugby.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Football, look out.
I'm about to say New Zealand got that on lock, I think, for a while.
You know what else was a cool story? And this is another sport, water polo. Do you know that Public Enemy, Flavor Flav,
yeah.
sponsored?
Yeah.
He sponsored the polo team.
Yeah, he did.
The U.S. polo team.
No, that's good. That's good. Congratulations.
No, but I'm saying, but that's like a hidden story. Like you were,
That's like a hit. Like
all the sports, Flav. Like you got water polo.
water polo is his
But
thing.
But it's marketing on his part because you got to think about it. Just think about if you did a basketball team. Like
They just got a deal. Somebody just got a deal.
No, I'm saying, but imagine if you were to sponsor the basketball team, nobody would have really thought nothing about it. But the water polo, it brought so much attention to the water polo team, and Flavor Flav is like that was brilliant marketing by both parties. I feel like, and it helped those those people out and stuff because you think about it now, they getting all this light on them, international light. Who knows what's going to do for them? So Flav,
There's a lot of sports that we don't excel in that are underserved as far as like resources and support. And if it goes behind them, I'm watching the Sprint show on Netflix. I don't know if y'all.
Oh yeah, talking about
it's called
that.
Sprint.
Yeah.
I didn't realize like how much goes into. Think about it. Their race is in 10 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
They spend all that time for 10 seconds, right? But if they don't win, they don't get paid.
Mm-hmm.
So such a level over to be competing at that high of a level every single time, like to get paid to be able to train for your sport. There's a lot of people. The young lady who's running the 100,
Gabby Thomas or Shakari.
She was on the Pivot podcast, and I was listening to her. The other young lady that is from Texas, that
Gabby
was with
Thomas.
Shakari.
No, not
I
her.
forgot her name,
Mhm.
but she worked a job. She had a job and she trying to train.
Mhm.
And then you have some people who are sponsored. They could just train,
All
for
day,
those
yeah.
times. So
Yeah.
it's so many different individual stories. This is why I think every 4 years the Olympics, when it's highlighted, it's a very good highlight and a good opportunity and spot for our athletics.
I gained my respect just talking to our student athletes. Mia, she was out there at the track a few years ago and she was getting her spots. And I always thought they were just running and just jumping. But they had to just understand the whole dynamics of counting one leg at this and they running full speed. I was like, it made me appreciate it even more. So now, like you were saying, you training 4 years for 10 seconds.
Yeah.
That's the craziest thing ever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you might not get paid for those 10 seconds. So you got to go out there and go 100%.
Yeah.
So I think that's
And
awesome.
a lot of them can't say they can go pro
Right.
in their sport.
Right.
Well, gentlemen, this has been a great conversation about the Olympics.
We need a production team because Coach forgot a name. See, we had somebody in his ear, they would have hit him. And he would, we think sometimes these sport commentators know everything.
Right. No,
but
they
they
don't.
got a team behind them and they study and they hold it and then
A team
all
of
of a
20.
sudden they get it.
They
and
got stats from 1912 and what he did on this day.
don't believe me now. They ain't rapping it off. They ain't coming out their mouth.
Temperatures at 73 degrees.
But guess what? We're doing a good enough job.
Hey, man, I ain't gonna say a lot,
we're
honestly.
good to go.
Alicia Johnson.
There you go.
There you go.
Alicia Johnson.
Yeah, there you go. And that's how we wrap things up on like that, okay? Coach is great. Once again, a great podcast.
Thank you for
here.
having us.
Yes, I appreciate
thank
it.
you.
Yes,
Appreciate you. And of course, until next time, we'll talk again later.
And next time we're bringing in our softball coach.
Yeah.
Yes. Before we go,
We do have a new softball coach for
new
Voorhees University.
softball
Yes.
coach, Courtney Tucker.
God.
And she is going to be part of the podcast too.
Yeah.
I think
much sooner than
she
later.
may be a solo.
Matter of fact, Wednesday
She might need
next,
her own show.
the next time we shoot, we should just let her do it by
Yes,
herself.
she'll have her own show.
The next time.
What do you think
yes.
about that? Is Courtney
There
in the
she
room?
go. There
Yeah,
she go.
Courtney, hey.
Waiting for the camera. There she go. Our new softball head coach, Courtney Tucker. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a wonderful podcast. Once again, thank you so very much. Coach O'Neal, baseball coach, Coach James Williams, the men's basketball coach, and of course, the legend, Edward Glover.
Yes, sir.
I'm the
women's
I'm
Hall
the
of Fame,
piano
baby.
man.
The
Piano man.
Hall of Fame.
Darryl, you hear that?
We finish off. Thank you so very
Hall
much.
of Famer.
Thank you so very
We'll
much.
talk about that on another podcast.
Y'all are something else. Thank you so very much for tuning in to Coach's Corner. I'm Clarence Jones, and make sure you please like and subscribe on our YouTube page and also our Facebook page as well. Okay, and until we meet again, and YouTube Athletics page and Voorhees 1897, Voorhees University 1897 YouTube page, and Instagram. Don't forget about Instagram.
Wow.
Voorhees
When I
University.
first started, we had none of this.
Look, it's a whole new
www.voorhees.edu.
world, okay?
The mailing address.
Yeah.
P.O.
Email
box.
address. How about it? All right, y'all. Thank you so very much for joining us. We had fun here today, and I hope you enjoyed watching us as well. For everybody here, I'm Clarence Jones, and until next time, so long, everybody.
That's all for this episode. We hope you enjoyed the conversation. Let us know what you think in the comment section below. Until the next episode, keep it real and keep it Voorhees.